Hello Uni, the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to use the Ken Burns effect in iMovie and the different ways you'll be able to use it when you create your video. I've already opened a project and imported an image we're going to use. I'm going to select this image and we're going to drag it down to the timeline. We're going to come up here to the browser window with all our editing tools and select cropping. You can see the Ken Burns effect has already been added and applied to this image. It's often the default for any images or titles that you add to your iMovie. If it's not selected, simply come across and click here. Then we can come down and we can see we have a start box and an end box. The start box shows us what part of the image will be shown when the image first appears on our timeline. The end box shows us the part of the image that will be shown when our image is finished being shown on our timeline. So we'll have a look at this. I'll just go back to the beginning and press play and see how it looks. And as we can see at the moment, we've got a zooming out effect. So we're going to cropping again, and this time what we want to do is start with one player and zoom out until we have the whole team. So we'll go back to the beginning and we'll see how this looks now. So that's zooming out, but it's quite quick. So what we could do is, to slow it down, is just increase the amount of time that the image will be shown on the timeline. So I've got that, drag across here, and we'll go back to the start. We'll play this and see how this looks now. We can see that's a bit more slower, it's softer, and it gives more time for you to add narration. So that's zooming out. The next thing we might want to do is to zoom in. So we might want to click on the cropping tool again, come down here, just move across. So to zoom in, we might want to end up zooming in on one player. So we can make this end box smaller, and then we could select whatever player we want to finish up on. And at the beginning, we want to start with the whole team. So if we play this now, we should be able to see that we get a zooming in effect. And we can see that now. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you is how to use the Ken Burns effect to give a panning motion to an image. So say we start with this side of the team. That'll be our first focus for this image on the timeline. And we want to move it across until we get to the other side of the team. So we'll make the boxes the same height. And we can just move this across right over to the other side. And I'll just move this down so it's the same height. So if we go back to the beginning and play, we should get a panning motion across this image. Now we can see this gives motion again. It will make it more fluid and fit in with the rest of your video. For the zoom in and zoom out, you might want to use that if you're talking about one particular player. The panning motion would be a good one to use if you're talking about the whole team. And this is where you have to be careful about how you apply the different editing techniques when you're creating your video.